Okay, boat anchor here. Let me put my glasses on here. There we go. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Now I should have filmed this or videoed it. I mean. Okay, this thing was totally seized up, and now it is not. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Yeah, it's not seized up now. Okay, what I did was because these are pressed in, the old ones used to be metal with screws, bolts, nuts, I mean, with a bolt going through on the old ones. These are the new style, like 2000 Galaxies, you know. And if I had another one I could show it probably better, but anyway, you get the picture. This white plastic, it goes all the way through this back metal, and then they melt it down like this, and that seals the box, which is, I guess that's okay. It stays together. So I had to get the nail clippers there and clip the ends off here. What you do is you very carefully take the back plate off, lay it down as you take it off with the name this way, with this pin right here, the hold down pin right there in there, which is the bottom, I guess. Anyway, you lay it like this. This is how you take it apart. Mine was stuck, so I couldn't turn it to a certain place, like say this flat part would go up. Okay, but anyway, it was more like this. Cockeyed like that, and it wouldn't turn. So I clipped those things, took the back plate off, and then very carefully took these wafers out, one at a time. There's two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 3 discs in here. So you take the back plate off, you lay it on the thing like this, just as you take it off, just the way you take it off. Then you get the disc, or this first section here, take it out and you lay it just like that with the pins pointing that way, like this. And then you take the wheel out. And you gotta say this is like that, pointing like that. Well, on each wheel there's a number on the wheel, on the back of the wheel, that you take the wheel off and you place it exactly the way you took it out, and then you do the same with this section here, which is the other half of that, these 2 sections. Then you do the others just like that, laying them out without turning them. Don't turn them. There is a number on each disc on the top of the hole here, so you just take it out and you lay it down flat. Take it out, lay it down flat. Boom, 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 boom. And then all this is out. Then there's that little wheel, the white wheel with the spring and the ball bearing. And what you do, what I did anyway, was I put this like this and just pressed as hard as I could with both hands, one on each side. And pop, it pops out, but you gotta watch the ball bearing, and luckily it just went, boom, fell over here. So you take that, and then you take it all apart, and then I was able to slide this out. It was pretty hard to do it, but I slid it out. There's a little washer thing here, so it doesn't want to go back that way. You gotta slide it out this way. So I finally slid it out. I sanded it lightly with 320, and then put some 3-in-1 on it. First I wiped it with alcohol and cleaned it. Then I put 3-in-1 on it. Did the same with the shaft, inside shaft of this. And then piece it back together. Put the white plastic thing with the ball bearing in there. and put that in there. That was fairly easy, but it didn't want to fly anywhere. So, and then what you do is you get the wheel and you place it on there where it, without turning that, and place it on there with that number pointing to the each wheel has a number on it on the back. So you put it on there with a number facing the same way, each plate. These right here that are put in order, start with these, and then you start with this, then you put the wheel on, then put the other half on, then you put the other half, the second half on, put another wheel on with a number facing the same way, and so on. And then when you get to the end, well, of course, since you cut these off, I just used this goop right there, and I put this on, held it like this, and it basically stayed on there flush. It didn't want to pop off or anything. So, and then I gooped it with some goop there, and then I kind of shoved it in there a little bit, not a whole bunch, because you don't want to get it inside. Although there is no wheel showing on the back of this part here, so you can goop it. I just shoved goop in there like that, just in between that and that first half there, and on these pegs, and just make sure it's flat, and there it is. Now, I don't know if it works or not, and I ain't gonna try it. It's just a test to see if I can do it. I think it'll work, but since I'm getting another one from Snake with that same number, 501, I believe it is. Can't really see it, but it's SOSP 501 or something like that. 501. So I got one of them from him, and I'm going to put it in the channel selector board there. And I'm starting to piece it together. Now this is another thing. I don't know how they do it at the factory, but this is how I'm doing it. All the LEDs are corroded, all the legs are just shot, right? And they kept busting on me, so I, okay. Dig out my little thing here, LEDs, and I put these in, and then tried to piece it together with this on there. Yeah, might as well forget it. You have to put the LEDs in here a certain way that they go in, like that. You just put it in the holes like that, right? You don't push too hard, you just put them in there like that. And then you got to get this, and very carefully put this over that, and to where the pins come out the bottom, right? And then if they don't move, which they shouldn't, because there should be those spacers and everything. It looks about 1/4 to 3/8 inch to the plate itself, so it might be just right. Because once you flip it over, those might come out of the holes. So what you do is you put it on there like this, and then you pick the whole assembly up and try and screw the screws in from the underside. Those 4 screws there, right here. See? After you put it on, you pick both pieces up without moving it and screw it on, and then you put this whole piece down and then solder them in. And that's how I'm going to attempt to do it. Oh boy, what a pain in the ass. These Saturns are put together like tanks, but man, they're... And I don't even know if any of that works. It should, because none of the wires are broke. You got to be careful with this ribbon. If you bend it too many times, you know what happens when you bend wire. I just wish they made these with plugs. I don't know why they didn't do that. But anyway. So all that's cleaned up. This was sanded and sprayed silver. So when I get this piece on there, oh yeah, and I cleaned the meters and unstuck them, so they're like brand new now. They're still white on the back, they ain't yellowed. So I'm going to attempt to do this. Now originally all these are red LEDs, right? But I'm going to change it up a little bit. Now these are a little bit short, so I hope they'll fit. I hope those will work. So one's TX light, a CW, blah blah blah, and then you got your AM, your upper, and your lower. Oh, FM. So TX, CW, I believe it is, and FM, and light, and then your AM, upper, and lower, or lower and upper, I forget. So all these are red. I would have changed it, but all I got is what I got. So I found all these. They're like brand new. Then I found these, a green and an orange. So that's what I'm going to go with. And piece it back together, and then I have to, this is where it gets kind of messed up. I got to take these switches off. That looks pretty easy to do. You just desolder the ground or the hold down lugs, and then you unsolder the pins right here. Take the switches out. I'm gonna have to clean these. Got to run over them with stuff, and except for this one. I'm not going to do this one because it's, I don't know, the spring's broke. But all these work. And watch one. Doing this will break. But anyway, yeah. Okay, so I got to take this one, this one, this one, and this one out. And there's one that works in that, so that will be the fifth one. So I need 4 switches working, and there's one switch only, and that one up there that works. So you know what I gotta do. I gotta take the working switches out of here, then open up the other radio, very carefully take this loose and somehow get it to where I can take the bad switches out of that one and put these good switches in that one. Oh boy. And these got to be cleaned. Who knows if they even work inside. Deox might work. It should. But yeah, they're kind of rusty. I need to take the switches off the board and then sand them down. I don't know. I'll probably just sand them down and oil them down to where they'd stop rusting. And then work from there. Put them in there. I still wish that they would have put a plug right here. I don't know why Galaxy didn't do that. Let's see. We got... Okay, the 10kc, ground, 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 and CB, B plus. Huh, I can't really read that. The 2 centers, there's 3 grounds. They go to the light, and then there's a wire goes to the 10kc. Here's the channel line and Roger beep. 19 and 18. I don't know what that is. Oh God. There's the calibrate. There. Calibrate VR. B plus AM. Yeah. Well, that's on the switch. That shouldn't be no problem. I got the plugs, so you know I can do that. I just need to wire now the 2 light bulb wires went into the ground, and maybe even that last one that says CB, B plus, and B plus. Those might be the hot wires for the lights. But this plus 10kc wire, it probably goes on the selector somewhere. I'm going to have to open up my other radio and figure out that, but it looks pretty easy. I just need to do what I'm said to do. This goes on there in a certain way. At the factory, I don't know how they did it. I guess I could glue them in just with a little dab of super glue, but then you would never get them out, so I'm just going to do it this way and see if I can do it. Okay, so that's it for the part 2, I guess you would call this, because I already made the inspection video. And the other pieces are right there. And there's the power supply. I still need to sand it and paint it, and all that. And there's some parts down there in the bin. Here's the the Echo board, the old Echo board. And let's see, where's the? Let me see if I can find it. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Okay. Here's the main board. I did what I did with the Smoker Special. I took this whole board, not this, but just the board, took it to the sink, sprayed it with a bunch of Simple Green, let that soak for a minute, and then worked that in with a brush. And then I rinsed that off and got some Ajax, poured it on there, and then rinsed that off, and double rinsed it and triple rinsed it, and then shook it off, blew it out, and then I set it on top of my car today, and it was pretty warm. So yep, so this is clean. The Echo board goes here, power supply goes there, and I really don't know what went here. That's because it's like this in my 2980, same thing. Nothing's in the spot, but I know something goes in there. I don't know what. But anyway, that's it. And there's the Smoker Special. I still need to put the gauges on. These are all yellowed, but they're unstuck. They could be used on something else. Anyway, that's the Smoker Special. It's still going, and I'm working on this one right now. So there you go, Boat Anchor CB radio repair with a extended video part 2 of this, starting to put it back together. And there's the side pieces, and here's the side pieces in the front that I think these hold the handles on. That's what those are for. Alrighty, so that's it. Boat Anchor CB radio repair. Break.